Oh, and we were drinking absinthe right before we smoked DMT.
Absinthe, Xanax, Whippets, DMT, shrooms.
The most random concoction of shit.
And just for everyone watching in the audience, I know there's a lot of impressionable young people out there.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Bitched by a woman. Well, here we are at the Bustin' with Willie show. Let's think of we gotta think of a new name.
What's wrong with Bustin' with Willie?
Budapest Bros.
Hey, Budapest Bros.
All right. Here we are, episode number 1. I'm with my good friend Edvin Garibovich, a.k.a.
Edvin G.
Edvin G, Eddie the Kid. I'm Willie, Felvideki Vilmos, as I sometimes go by. And you are you. And we respect that. Or do we?
Respect. If you're not married, I respect you.
I am married. You still are also technically
yeah,
married.
You're right. Goddamn, I guess I don't respect myself.
Your divorce papers have not been filed yet. But as you head into this new single phase of your life, how does it feel?
I feel like the most eligible bachelor in Budapest.
You heard that right here first, ladies.
Hit me up.
Or gentlemen. The most eligible bachelor in Budapest. He's got 2 chihuahuas and a whole lot of plants.
Divorced dog dad.
Divorced dog dads. Maybe that could be the name of the podcast. Divorced dog dads of Budapest.
But you're not a dog dad.
Nor am I divorced.
Not yet.
But I do live in Budapest. Although now I lived out in the countryside.
Yeah, that's not Budapest.
In Leánfalu, the girls' village. Leánfalu, down the Duna, down the Danube, formerly in Budapest. We're here in Budapest right now. And how would you say living in Budapest has impacted your life? How long have you been here?
Oh, geez. It's been at least 7. I got here January 2017.
January 2017. That was 1 year before I got here in January 2018.
The lake was frozen. We drove from Zagreb, Croatia, in my Hungarian director Gabor, shout out Gabor, Kratzfilm, and his what are these things called? The thing they cook meth in
a camper van.
A Winnebago.
A Winnebago.
Yeah, is that a brand name? Or?
Winnebago, I think, is a brand name, or maybe it's the ancient Native American name for a large caravan. I don't know.
Caravan. Okay, so in his caravan with all our stuff in it, and I remember we stopped at Lake Balaton. And because it was frozen, and we walked on top of the lake. That was my first experience in Hungary ever.
Wow, on a frozen lake. Apparently the lake used to freeze over every year, but obviously now with global warming and the impending apocalypse, that doesn't happen so much.
When is that happening? 2040?
2040, 2045. I mean, Singularity might occur before then.
I think is the Singularity.
Singularity. What is Singularity anyway?
It's the point of no return.
The point of no return. Haven't we reached that many times already, though? I mean, couldn't you argue that, all the atrocities and terrors of World War II would have been seen as a point of no return if people could have envisaged them beforehand?
Well, I mean, people could have envisaged a future, even though those atrocities occurred. But the point of the Singularity is you can't predict what would happen afterward.
Will the computers and the algorithms be better stewards of the earth than us as human beings have been?
It depends on their programming, I suppose.
And will we be using, I guess the fear is that you have a super intelligent computer and they're going to end up overtaking us as human beings in terms of our role and our power in society, and somehow they'll build their own power structures and dominate us in a matrix-like fashion. Is that the fear?
There's a lot of fears, but the main one is that there's no way to predict what would happen. If there's a general AI that can alter its own code, and
all right, well,
there's just no way to know what would possibly happen.
That's true. I mean, but there's no way to know what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next Thursday.
But we have some idea.
We have some idea. We have a framework. This is like a whole new world.
Is that Aladdin?
That is...
I think it's Aladdin.
Aladdin, or is it Little Mermaid?
That's my favorite Disney movie, Aladdin.
Are you sure it's Aladdin?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's a Jasmine song. Who's your favorite Disney princess?
Mulan.
Who's the hottest Disney princess?
Jasmine.
What about Meg from Hercules? She's got a little bit of that girl next door vibe.
Who?
Meg from Hercules. Hercules.
Oh yeah.
Hercules.
Oh
Better
my
believe
God.
it.
I remember that. Yeah.
Hercules is a great story. I've actually read the original Hercules in the Greek myth book that I possess, and I've been reading myths from over the past month.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that.
And Hercules, it's a very interesting story. It's like this hero, and he does the 10 labors, they call them, the 10 tasks that he has to accomplish. And
To do what?
Basically, Hera is Zeus's wife, and Zeus is always fucking other girls.
Yeah.
He has like
He's the
a
man.
million wives. A lot of them are humans. Some of them are like demigods. But Hercules' mother is a human. And Zeus beds her. He does not wed her, but he beds her. And Hera is the constantly jealous wife of Zeus, who's always getting mad that he's sleeping with nymphs and all these people.
I know that feeling.
And Hercules is born, and one thing or another occurs where I think like he has to go to his uncle or his cousin Eurystheus, and then somehow for whatever reason he has to do 10 labors, and these are 10 tasks that he has to do, and he accomplishes all 10 tasks. But then at the end, Hera's like, nope, actually you didn't do this one because you didn't clean the giant.
Which one?
One of them's like he has to clean.
I know
out.
one is he has to slay a minotaur or something.
Slay a minotaur. There's one that's the Nemean lion, and that's why Hercules walks around with his badass, like very pimp lion mane on him the whole time.
That was the first task?
That was the first one, the Nemean lion. One of them is like he has to clean out these stables. They're like giant horse stables, and he redirects a river to like clean them out. And then Hera says, no, that doesn't count, Hercules. You didn't clean them yourself. The river did it.
Oh, God.
I know. And then there's another one that she rules out on like, I don't know, technicality. Yeah, there we go. And then he has to do 2 more. And in doing the 2 more, he ends up dying. I don't know, some crazy shit happens.
Wait, he dies?
He goes down to Hades, and then he like resurrects because
Which is hell?
Hades is hell, and
Isn't Hades the guy in the hell?
guy of hell? Hades is the guy.
Lord of hell.
Is the Lord of hell. Anyway, enough of that.
Wait, who's your favorite Greek god?
My favorite Greek god is definitely Dionysus.
Hermes.
Hermes is just like the messenger, and he takes you down to the underworld. And
But he's the only one who goes between the worlds, right?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That's dope, right?
But Dionysus is the god of wine and ecstasy and frivolity and merriment and drinking and passion and fun.
Okay, guys, sorry, we had to stop because my SD card ran out of
SD card
memory.
Mbasa meg SD card.
I have all my YouTube videos that I've been making on there. It's 128 gigs and it was full.
128 gigs. That's a lot of gigs. I hear they make today like 2 terabyte hard drives or even more.
Hard drives? You mean SD cards?
SD cards, right?
Crazy how fast technology is advancing. But wait, what were we talking about?
We're talking about Nietzsche and your 2 dogs.
Oh, right. Say Fiona and Chewy.
Their names are Chewy, Fiona.
Let me pan to them. They're right behind the camera.
All right, we got a pan coming up. Chewy and Fiona. How does the woke liberal left co-opt those into
Can you not? Hegel strongly influenced Marx, the woke left.
All right, we'll come back to this topic another week. Right here,
Right now,
as I sit here, living and breathing today, I am irresistibly infatuated by books. That's a problem that I have, and I'm just gonna go over and grab one off the shelf. Don't know which one, but we're gonna just pick 2.
you can't look.
Gonna pick 2.
Did you pick at random?
Random books? DMT. The Spirit Molecule.
Oh, great book.
A doctor's revolutionary research into the biology of near-death and mystical experiences.
Yeah.
Rick Strassman, MD.
MD.
And The Way of the Superior Man. A spiritual guide to mastering the challenges of women, work, and sexual desire.
Let's go with DMT.
DMT, The Spirit Molecule. Have you had a DMT experience?
I have several.
And did it feel like you were dying when you did it?
No, because I didn't take enough. You're supposed to hit it like 3 times to get what's called a breakthrough experience. So what I got was like a shallow, which it was still insane. It was the most trippy thing I've ever done.
When was the first time you did DMT?
Oh God. So this was a couple of years ago at my friend Michael's apartment. And he ordered DMT off the dark web, and he kept offering it to me every time we would hang out, but I was too scared to try it. And then one night after we did so much other shit, like we did shrooms and ecstasy and even whippets at the club.
Even whippets.
That was random as fuck. And Xanax. So I was so fucked up, I didn't care. I was like, yeah, give me the DMT. Oh, and we were drinking absinthe right before we smoked DMT.
Absinthe, Xanax, whippets, DMT, shrooms.
The most random, like, concoction of shit.
And just for everyone watching in the audience, I know there's a lot of impressionable young people out there.
Don't do drugs, kids.
This is not recommended. Now Eddie has found the way of the superior man.
And it's not doing drugs. This is actually day 30, guys. Day 30 of me not smoking any weed.
Day 30. That's a lot. Really? Wow.
I did a 30-day challenge, and I'm going to close off the month.
Well, now you're here, but back then when you were hanging out with this rascal Michael and doing all the shrooms and the DMT, what was this DMT experience like? Were you even coherent enough to, like, appreciate what you were going through?
Yeah, okay, so the thing about DMT, it will completely dominate and cancel out any other substance that you take. Like, there's nothing else that can match what DMT does to your consciousness.
And what did you see? What were the visuals like?
So, I was sitting on this rug that, it was like a shag rug with like really thick shags pieces, whatever. And the shags of the rug.
That's why they call it a shag rug, because it has a lot of shags.
Okay, so the shags of the rug were like these complex towers that were like growing out of the ground, and they were so colorful and so multi-dimensional. And I was just staring at that, and it was just, I was looking at it, and my experience was like going into the towers of complexity, and it was just like, it felt like just an infinite zooming in.
Did you feel like it was never gonna end?
I didn't get that sense.
Were you just having fun? You were just like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, because I felt like it sobered me up. Like, you know when you drink and then you do a line of blow and it sobers you up?
Well, I don't know, but I'm sure that would, sounds like it makes sense that it would happen.
So I was super fucked up, and then I smoked the DMT, and all of a sudden I felt like I was completely sober, but my visual experience was like this crazy, like, psychedelic hallucination.
All right, now let's go on to our next book, The Way of the Superior Man. This is the 20th anniversary edition. I don't believe that we celebrated the anniversary properly. Oh, a little Polaroid right in there. What is the bookmark on? Never change your mind just to please a woman.
Ooh, and it's chapter
6. Eddie's favorite number because he has a satanic fetish. If a woman suggests something that changes a man's perspective, then he should make a new decision based on his new perspective. But he should never betray his own deepest knowledge and intuition in order to please his woman or go along with her. Both she and he will be weakened by such an action. They will grow to resent each other, and the crust of accumulated inauthenticity will burden their love, as well as their capacity for free action. And that's why we love Mr. Deida for those turns of phrase, the crust of accumulated inauthenticity. All right, just so everyone knows, I've never seen this book in my life.
You wish you could write
I don't
like
know who David Deida is. I am being facetious, but it seems like this is a well-worn copy in your shelf. So what did that mean to you?
Well, to me, it just means like hold frame, like have your own mental point of origin and don't be swayed. It doesn't matter if it's your woman or if it's anyone really. Like you shouldn't bend your worldview or perspective based on someone else.
In past relationships, do you feel like you've made that mistake?
I'm probably one of the people who is the least susceptible to breaking frame, but I know that it's like a very, very easy when you're in a relationship to just be like, if your woman's nagging you to do something, you're just like, oh, you don't want to deal with the drama, you don't want to fight, so you just do it.
How do you think that they should go about a situation where they might be called to break frame, so to speak?
But give me like a specific example, like a scenario.
It is the day that you've been looking forward to so that you could go to the bar and just go have a day out with the lads and go have fun on a rollicking adventure.
Rollicking?
But your wife or your girlfriend or your partner wants to go apple picking.
Ah, okay. So you already made plans with the boys and she wants you to cancel those plans so you can go apple picking?
The apple picking was made months ago. You don't really remember it.
Right.
And now your buddy Tommy hit you up and is like, let's go down to the bar and watch some football. And you're like, all right. And you're looking forward to it. You're having an exciting, yeah, let's go do it. And then your girlfriend's like, actually, we're going apple picking. What do you do?
Well, my advice is to be a man of your word. If you said you were going to go apple picking, that should mean something and you should go do it.
Especially if it's fall, and like, why not? Because apple picking sounds a lot better than watching smelly football with Tommy in the bar.
No, it doesn't matter if you want to do it or not. You said you were going to do it, so you should do that.
All right, so it matters what you said first.
Yeah, honor is a big thing, like for men. Like your word should be your bond, and that it should mean something. But if you didn't say you would go and she wants you to go, then fuck that. You go do what you want to do. What do you think about that video I showed you earlier about the stinky fish holes?
Well, I would say that I probably
disagree.
I don't know. Sort of all of this like self-help, man, gotta be strong, independent stuff. I don't really buy into that much.
You don't think that men should be strong and independent? Does that mean you think they should be weak and dependent?
No, I just don't think it needs to be a necessarily adversarial relationship between man and woman. It's like mutual understanding between man and woman can lead to a lot of greatness. Man and woman are meant to be compatible with one another and work in harmony. I mean, it goes.
But does that go against what the guy said in the video about how it's a dumb idea to get married?
Well, he just says this whole thing about you don't want to get the state involved in your shit.
Yeah, right? What do you think about that?
I mean, I think that it opens up more avenues, especially being in an international relationship where one person lives in a different country. You kind of need the state to be involved in your shit if you want to live in the same country.
So you would think that involving the state in your relationship is a good thing? It has more pros than cons?
In a case where you need to get a visa and the best way to get a visa is through marriage, then yeah, it makes sense.
But is it the only way?
It's not the only way, but I just don't see it as such a negative thing. I mean, this guy's already starting out with a perspective that like, okay, the state's gonna take the woman's side. That means that he already expects for this relationship to be broken. But if you go into a relationship not expecting it to be broken and to grow old together, then I think that it doesn't matter.
And do you think that is a rational expectation?
Yes. I think it's rational. It depends. I mean, it depends how much effort you're willing to put in or whether you've made the right partner selection or yeah, you just need to get lucky. I mean, it's just like there's a lot of things. But if you're like a true romantic believer who doesn't really care about the rationality of decisions and would rather just go with your emotions, then I think maybe it makes sense.
Would you advise other young men who aren't married yet to live their life making emotional decisions instead of rational decisions?
Not necessarily, but I don't really have a choice.
You have to be emotional.
I have to be emotional.
Oh, okay.
I am very feminine in my upbringing, so maybe that has rubbed off on me. I don't know.
But do you think it's a choice whether you make a rational choice or an emotional choice? This goes back to my favorite philosophy, Stoicism.
Stoicism. So
I thought you were gonna grab the Stoic book.
Yeah, let's grab the Stoic.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, the Daily Stoic.
My favorite book. I read it every day.
But Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman.
Oh, you gotta pick that up.
Oh my God. All right.
Go to today's date.
We reap what we sow. Crimes often return to their teacher.
All right, Seneca. Why don't we do like your birthday or something?
Okay.
What's your birthday?
February 15th.
February 15th?
You didn't like Seneca, that's fine.
I love Seneca.
Well, you want.
I just don't want to sit here while you read that giant fucking paragraph.
This one's gonna be even longer. February 16th, February. Oh, only bad dreams. Clear your mind and get a hold on yourself. And as when awakened from sleep and realizing it was only a bad dream upsetting you, wake up and see that what's there is just like those dreams. Marcus Aurelius, The Meditations. Marcus Aurelius, by the way, you know, he wrote many of the meditations on the banks of the Danube.
I'm the one who told you that.
Stationed in the Pannonia province. You told me that?
When we went to we went to what's it called? Aquincum.
Aquincum.
He wrote a bunch of it there.
Which is why you need to wake up right now instead of creating a nightmare.
Ooh.
I wonder if that was Ryan Holiday or Stephen Hanselman. We'll never know.
It was one of them. It had to be.
It had to be. So what does that mean to you?
Yeah. So Stoicism is all about, you know, disregarding your emotions, which are temporary and fleeting, and coming from a place of making like rational choices.
But do you think that applies? Because this is using negative emotion of anger as an example, which I think is pretty inarguable. Like, yeah, anger most of the time, if you're acting upon anger, it's going to lead you astray. But what if you're acting upon like passionate and fervent love, and you're going to throw rationality to the wayside and just go after what feels good?
Well, the Stoics would advise against that. You should temper your passions and make rational choices as a man.
And what about as a woman?
Well, I think women are different because they're more emotional. It's not like women. It's more like a feminine person. So you can have a feminine man, and he's also like that. He's gonna be emotional. Or you can have a masculine person would be more rational, and they would disregard their emotions and do the correct, logical, rational decision.
Well, I don't know. I still prefer to sometimes go with emotions because it feels good, it feels right, it feels natural, it feels like that's what I want to do.
Because in that time, you are acting from your feminine nature.
Call it what you want, but actually, you know what? I'm writing a book right now, and the main character is a woman, but there's a twist.
She becomes a man.
No. Well, we'll get to that on another episode. I don't want to keep you guys here all week. You know what I'm saying? So, this has been a great discussion. I think that we've set ourselves up for episode 2 rather nicely. Do you have any final thoughts?
What's up with you? What are you doing with your life these days?
Nothing too specific. I mean, today I wandered around the streets of District 11 after I finally obtained my residence permit.
How is that possible? You've lived here for years.
I already had a residence permit, but this is my Családi Együttélés permit, which is like family reunification. I mean, we were already...
You were reunited?
We were at long last. I was reunited with my wife. No, I don't know why, but it's like basically I'm allowed to live here because I'm the spouse of a Hungarian. But there's a whole...
So that's why you got married. So it was a rational decision.
That's not why I got married, but that's allegedly an added benefit is that I have this thought-provoking engedélyt, this residence card. But now, because I'm opening up a company, it's called Havago.
.com?
Havago.co.
Why not .com?
It was taken, and also I think the .com thing is so blasé, so overrated, so unnecessary.
Comment below if you think Willie's wrong about that.
Oh my God, give me a break. Anyway, havago.co is the website, and the company Havago is the mothership. And there's
I guess it does rhyme. That's kind of cool.
It rhymes.
Wait, if you're gonna go down that route, why don't you go Hava.go?
.go is not available.
It's not a thing?
It's not a thing.
Ah, boo.
There's like an international consortium of domain supervisors that decide.
Isn't there a country that has GO as their...
The closest would be Gambia, but I believe that's GA.
Havaga.
Anyway, that's going to be the proverbial mothership, and then below it, there's going to be a bunch of sub-companies.
So Havago is like Alphabet.
Yeah.
And then Google.
Hopefully it's more like Alphabet and not like Meta, which is just through the...
Whoa, what? Floor. Didn't it go down like 20? I bought some Meta today because it was down like 26%.
It came. Now it's down.
In one day.
Last year it was up to almost 400. Now it's below 100.
It's 100, yeah.
It's a... Mark Zuckerberg, the metaverse isn't working out, buddy. You gotta fucking get that goose out of the oven while it's cooked.
How's it going? the self-employment.
It's going well, you know?
Oh, I saw you were about to hit 10K on YouTube. Maybe you hit it already while we were doing this.
No, I think that's probably still a little bit ways off. But you know what?
But you're so close.
They'll say, wow, he made it to 10K. Like, this guy deserves a statue. That's all.
Do you get anything? You get it for 100K. You get something, right?
I don't know. YouTube.
I think for 100K, YouTube sends you some plaque.
Okay, well, I can't wait till I get the plaque. I'm gonna hang it above my bed.
And then a million is another plaque. It's like gold or something. They have colors.
Yeah, especially after this podcast.
Put my butt in the thumbnail.
Oh God, that will turn off a lot of people.
Bro, I've been doing hip thrusts. I have a home gym now, and I've been working on my glutes. They're looking pretty good.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, we'll see you guys next week. If that didn't stop you from coming back, nothing will. This was Eddie and Willie. Other way around, switch it back and forth. Chewy, Fiona, take it easy.
Keep it sleazy.
My Jeezy.
Don't forget to wipe your hands with the hand sanitizer.
Let's go!